Texas Tech defensive coordinator Shiel Wood with me. David Smoke, 365 Sports, as spring football winding down in various ways throughout the country, including in Lubbock, Texas. Who has the highest energy meter if it was something we could measure, you or Joey?
Coach McGuire.
Oh, really?
He is
yeah.
He is a high energy guy every day. He has different hats that he wears to practice, and he has a piece of tape that he puts on top of the bill, and he writes something with a Sharpie every day. And most of the time he wears the one that says energy on it.
Yep. Well, I saw the one when you guys were practicing in the snow about a week or so ago, and he was talking about the game in Morgantown. And so there's always a message. What is your message to your defense? What do you have slogans or mottos or anything like that?
I don't know that we necessarily have kind of that one slogan that a lot of folks adhere to or come up with necessarily. I think the biggest thing from a philosophical standpoint that we're trying to get embedded in our guys right now is their desire to play really hard and practice really hard. Whatever we do on the practice field, we believe that's what's going to show up on the game field, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. And we're trying to get our guys to be the hardest playing football team in the country. And to do that will not be easy, but we're trying to get our guys to train themselves to practice really hard every day so that they know when it comes to game day, they'll be able to play extremely hard. And if we're playing really hard, then that'll make up for mistakes or, missed assignments or missed tackles. And that'll give us a chance to hopefully lay a foundation to where, we'll just keep getting better each and every day.
Have you ever had a player in your coaching career who was not a good practice player, but was a great game player, in-game player? Nope.
I mean, every once in a while, a blind squirrel will find a nut, and a guy that will make a play maybe you haven't seen him make. But the reality of it is that every great player, in my opinion, is a great player because of how they prepare. And the flipping a switch on game day is a myth in terms of being able to be a gamer or turn it on. Again, you can find instances of an individual that'll have that one play here or there, but whatever you do on the practice field day in and day out, how you prepare, how you meet, how you focus, how you learn your assignment, those are the things that are going to help you win in the stressful environments that you're going to find on game day when it's crunch time.
When we've seen coaching changes or coordinator changes or position coach changes, I've heard this more often lately, and curious about you, that some coaches did not want to watch film prior to when they arrived to not worry about getting bad habits or whatever, developing maybe an idea of a player. How did you handle that when you came in?
Every job that I've taken, I want to familiarize myself with the personnel. So the ability to, and sometimes even as you're deciding whether there's a job, if you have an opportunity, whether that's an opportunity that you're interested in or not, I think familiarizing yourself with the organization, and that includes the players that are going to be playing for you on game day and playing for the team, just seeing what their skill sets are, where you have some challenges maybe, and just familiarizing yourself in my role with what our guys can do, what they can do well, where they can fit best within the scheme of the defense, identifying those traits and skills and be able to maximize their ability to help us win football games. Those are the things that are important to me coming into a new opportunity to join a new organization. But from there, I'm not really interested in, how guys were coached in the past or the schemes they played. It's more about what they can do and what they have the ability to grow and do. And, when you're looking at all those things, you get a taste of it, but you don't really know for sure until you get here and you have time to spend with them and coach them on the grass and in meetings and all those types of things. But trying to familiarize yourself with the skills that you have and the potential and start trying to put those pieces in place to the best of your ability. The sooner you can do that, I think gives you the best chance to start building things quickly.
There's a reason you're there because of what you bring to the table, and also as a defensive coordinator, your history. When transfers come in now, especially with the new coordinator, does that make it easier? Is that complicated, and do you bring in a transfer if you don't think they can start, or are there some pieces to help add depth?
Well, James Blanchard is our general manager, and he really puts our roster together through high school recruiting and then supplementing that with the transfer portal as we need. I think that it's just a case-by-case scenario based on where we're at any point in time and kind of how Coach McGuire and James, in coordination with myself and our defensive staff, just communicate on a variety of different topics. And, there's no blueprint on the best way to handle, using the transfer portal to help build your roster. And I think you just have to take it as you go. And every day's a new day in that regard. And, certainly as the portal opens and you have guys that maybe end up leaving your roster, whether you see that coming or not, you just have to adjust and adapt. And it's the world that we live in. And, you have to continue to evolve. You have to evolve schematically in the game of football in terms of, how you can attack people, how you can, get up to speed on matching numbers. You have to evolve on how you handle your roster, recruit, all those things. And if you don't do a great job, somebody else will be there to kind of catch up to you or get in the lead. So that's what we try to do, I think, and recruiting and transfer portal is no different.
What was the most you got defensive line, linebackers, defensive backs. What do you think was the biggest need filling up this particular team on defense?
Oh, I think there were probably areas of every level of defense where supplementing the roster that was here at the end of last season with some guys coming in were things that needed to take place. I think we've added some difference makers at each level of the defense, whether that's with the front, the second or the third level. I think that we've added depth, and in the Big 12 to play a 12-game, Big 12 regular season schedule with the hopes and aspirations of playing postseason play. You need to have that quality depth because you need to be able to roll guys. Certainly bumps and bruises are going to happen along the way. So all those things you take into consideration. So I don't know that I would pinpoint any one area. I think there was just, supplementation at every level of defense. And I think that the guys that we've brought into our team have been great teammates, really high character individuals that have bought into the culture that Coach McGuire has established here. That's been great to see. I think that the guys that were returning off of last year's team have embraced and welcomed those new individuals, whether they were high school recruits or transfer portals, players that came in from another school. They've done a great job of embracing those guys and, building a sense of brotherhood and bond. And it's been a great spring for us because of all that.
One of your reputations is being as detailed in your installs and plans as anyone. In fact, Joey McGuire says detailed as anyone I've ever been around, and he's been around a long, long time. Where did that come from? Was that something you learned from another coach, or was that just something you picked up along the way with your experience?
I would say everything that, that I am is because of the great coaches that I've learned from and coached under throughout the years. I think that Nate Woody's a guy that I coached with for a long time. And, the system that we're running kind of comes out of his tree, so to speak. And certainly we've tried to evolve it and adapt it as we go. And everybody puts their own, their own spin on what they're doing from a coaching standpoint. But, we just try to do a good job of crossing every T and dotting every I. I think that, one of the things from my standpoint in my role, I want to do a great job of not micromanaging, allowing our coaches to coach, but trying to do a great job of setting up the framework to where our coaches can get on the same page, understand what we want to get done, and then being very organized and efficient. The more efficient we can be, the more productive we're going to be. We want to use the resources that we have with our coaching staff, our support staff, to maximize our ability to be effective in our individual roles and then our collective role of trying to get this defense to be the best that we can be. So I think every offseason you're looking to evolve the schemes that you run, and you're looking to evolve your ability to maximize your efficiency and organization, because that's just going to help everybody. And then the more you can have clearly defined roles, I believe, to where guys can take ownership, as coaches and their role within what you're doing. I think that promotes, just a good atmosphere of teamwork and togetherness, and those things are the things that are going to help you win, be successful.
Shiel Wood, defensive coordinator, Texas Tech. You look at you're in the office and what they have built there, all the facilities and all the things that have been put into making Tech bigger, better, faster, stronger, beautiful, etc. You didn't go through some of that what they had before. Do you feel like you kind of arrived on Christmas Day with the opening of all what they've done with the athletic complex?
It's funny that you bring that up. When I drove out here in December, I arrived on a Sunday. It was bowl prep going on. I want to say it was around December 10th, that, give or take a day, but whatever that Sunday was. And that Sunday, they had a team meeting. I didn't get out here. I didn't get in the office till Monday, but I drove out, got into Lubbock late on that Sunday evening. Well, that Sunday night, maybe around 7:00, they had a team meeting, and that was kind of the official unveiling of the Womble Center, I believe, which has kind of been a slow rollout. But officially, they showed the locker room to the guys that night, I believe, and some of the other parts of the Womble Center. And so, that Monday when I came in the office for the first time was really kind of the first day where everything was quote unquote open, I think. And I just remember walking in, and Ryan Connery, who's special teams analyst for us and was a defensive analyst at the time last year, kind of got me in the building and showed me around. I just was just amazed. I knew that the facility was new, and I had done some research on the internet, and I couldn't really find any pictures. And I understand now why, because everything was being completed and under construction. So I didn't know what to expect when I got out here and I walked through this facility. It's just unbelievable. And I think everybody that's had a chance to come through here over the course of the spring and see it for the first time has been pretty amazed. And we're certainly blessed to have tremendous support. And with Coach McGuire's leadership, Kirby Hocuts, they did a tremendous job, and others, obviously, with Cody Campbell and Dustin Womble putting this whole project together. It benefits our coaches and our players, and it's unbelievable facility.
Shiel, one or two more questions. What was Joey's pitch to you other than we need to get better across the board and statistically, results on the field, red zone defense, whatever? What was his pitch to you? What did he need?
I think the biggest thing that I was excited about in conversations with him was just where the program was at that point in time and the success that he had, in his first 3 years here, and his vision for things moving forward, the support of the school in terms of the facility, the vision that, the athletic director, Kirby Hocutt, and Coach McGuire had for where the program was and where it was headed, and the ability to come in here and have a legitimate opportunity to compete for a Big 12 championship this season. That's something that was really intriguing to me and very exciting, because at the end of the day, if you can win the championship, you get in that playoff, and that's what you want to be able to do, because once you get in the playoff, anything can happen. And so with the program where it's at, and the continued improvements that we're looking to make, we're excited about the season ahead.
What was how was the conversation with Willie Fritz when you told him you were leaving? Because I know he loved you, man. I mean, he mentioned it was a great business decision for you, and they could only do so much. But what was that like, saying that, hey, I'm leaving? Is that hard?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a ton of respect for Coach Fritz. I worked for him for 2 years at Tulane, and he was gracious enough to offer me the opportunity to come with him to the University of Houston when he transitioned there as the head coach. And I learned a ton from him of positive things that I'll carry with me the rest of my coaching and professional career. he treats people the right way. He's a good man. And he's a very experienced head coach and has had a ton of success. So leaving him and leaving that opportunity and those players and the people on staff that I consider friends today, that's always a difficult thing. But sometimes you just have to just have to make the decisions that you feel like are, the best for your professional career and for your family. And certainly this opportunity to come here was something that my wife and our two daughters were extremely fired up about. Coach McGuire has been phenomenal. The onboarding process here has been phenomenal. The staff here, the players, everybody that we met in the Lubbock community has just made us feel so welcome. And we are extremely, extremely excited to be at Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas. Love the community and are excited about the season ahead.
And the last thing, you mentioned family. You walked away from coaching as your wife went into medical residency, which says a lot about you, and also knowing her career is important as well. Did you, when you were away for 2 or 3 years, did it make you love coaching even more, or did it help you refresh? What was that like for you?
Well, it was an interesting, season, I guess, of my life and for our family, and never something that I never would have envisioned. It's amazing how life just takes you down different paths and different opportunities. And, the good Lord, you just got to put your faith in him and take things one day at a time. And for us at that point in time, just for a variety of different reasons, it was the right thing for me to pause on my coaching career to help support my wife in her professional career. And then, just having our first child at the time and just some of the challenges that come along with that, in particular, as it pertains to two professionals working in a, high-paced, high workload environment. If I had tried to continue coaching at that point in time, and as new parents, you don't know what you're getting into. And so you started getting into it. I think everybody that has children can probably attest to that. So it was probably a thing for me that I look back on and was one of the best things and best decisions I ever made in my life. I knew that I wanted to get back into coaching when the time was right. I didn't know what that would look like and what form or shape that would take and if that would work out, but I'm blessed that it did. And, Mike Ayers, my head coach that I played for and coached for Wofford, was the coach that gave me the opportunity to come back and actually step back into the same job that I'd left nearly 3 years prior to that. So, and then from there, it's just been a series of great opportunities and great places to work, and has led us to where we sit today. So,
yeah. And she's a hell of an athlete too. Played soccer. You were a football player. And so who's the better athlete now?
Well, she was the better athlete then, and she continues to be the better athlete now. So
I know.
no debating that in our household.
Very smart. Hey, man, thanks for your time, Shiel. Continued luck the rest of the spring and into the first year there, and good luck with you and Tech. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, David. I appreciate it.
Shiel Wood, Texas Tech defensive coordinator, with me, 365 Sports.